Hey, it's good and doing a kind of rough draft of my Arcane horses. So I've done 3 tests of the deck already. First test was kind of okay. Second test went better. And then third test, which was last night, was probably the most best that the deck has ever done. And this is my commander for anybody that's wondering. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck. So this may change a little bit more. I'll have to see. So this is Demonic Tutor. Just searches for Crest of Summer is basically what I use it for, or basically anything else like Helm of the Host or anything else I might need. So just this is mainly in here for drawing and kind of if there's something I don't really need right now, then I can put it to the top. So. And kind of gives my creatures haste and does a little bit of burn damage and so on and so forth. So, yeah. And then Witch Piper. I know this isn't a horse, but it's like I can tap a green and tap the creature itself and bring out like big dudes. So that's kind of the other reason why I have these in here is because of Witch Piper. So it's not a bad card. So, and then this is the other thing that I've kind of adjusted. I had more 2-card lands in here, so yeah. So, they're Elemental Knight. I think I have the red, blue, and then this one, and I think I have the black one in here too. The only one I don't have is and here's the green one. But I had that like kind of like right next to me, so. So this is from the Lord of the Rings Commander deck. And it's also very quite good. Lightning Greaves, I mean, obviously, just good card. This is also really good. There's another reason why I have this in here, which I will explain to you guys now. So I picked myself up this and one other card that's in here that you guys will see later on. Yeah. So I haven't really fully gotten to use this yet, but it's just something I have in here for Crush of Summer. Is whenever I have Helm of the Host equipped to it, then I make a copy of it, which would turn into 2 copies and so on and so forth. So, yeah. So, I think you guys get the gist where that's going, especially if I have life gain. So, yeah. Now 2-card land, more land fixing with Chromatic Lantern. The other thing that I had in here was board wipes, because that was the one other thing that I was kind of struggling with was not having enough ways to wipe the board. So, yeah. And if I don't have Crush of Summer out, then this is also really quite good. So, more land fixing, Swiftfoot Boots, Cather's Crusade. This card is just obviously just dumb, especially if I can end up making like horse tokens and Crush Summer copies, and yeah, it just gets out of hand really quickly. So, counterspell. I do have more fun, but it's actually in the deck. I thought it'd be a little bit better for it to be in the deck than as my commander, because it's still a shapeshifter. It still kind of helps the horses out a little bit. So, So that's kind of my thought process of that a little bit. So, and then I do have this, so I'll show that to you guys up close, so that way you guys can read what it does. So, and then helmet of the host, negate. I guess I should probably explain why I have this. So this is someone from earlier in the week had actually used this, and it just caused chaos, like it says in the name. It basically, one of the people in the pod I was in was playing like a demon deck, I think it is what it was, demon commander deck or something along those lines, and it kind of almost left all of us just dead. So yeah, so that's, I mean, it helps wipe the board, but it actually also causes chaos too, so makes things interesting. Surge Mirror. So here's one of the Spice cards, or one of the Arcane cards that I have in the deck. So draw. There's actually private Arcane stuff I took out, shockingly enough. I still have a little bit in the deck to make it a slice of Arcane, but yeah, it's not fully Arcane, but it's, you know, still just a tad to where it's still kind of useful. So Elixir, just shuffle back to my graveyard, and that card as well, and gain 5 lives. So this card's also not bad, just to get all my creatures hexproof. So, and it lets me be able to regenerate them too. So yeah, their land. Another way of just kind of fixing my lands if I need to. So Mana Vault, Mystic Confluence, another kind of rule spell, another Arcane card, gain 1 life for each land I control. So yeah, here's the other card that I had got, Parallel Lives. Now, I know some of you guys are going to be thinking, why did you pick up Doubling Season with the reprint, like, right around the corner? Well, I had just ordered that, or the night that I had gotten a reprint. I didn't even know it had gotten the reprint until someone had shown me, like, well, I'm still thankful to have the card, even though it did get reprinted, and might have lost a little bit of value on the card, but to me, it's like I'm more thankful to own a card than worry about what the value of the card is worth. So that's just my opinion on the whole situation. So more land, Dynamare, just gain life by choosing a color. So Bit of the Pony. This is also not bad either, because you get to make food tokens, and then you select food for gaining life. So Crested Summer, White Wilds. So this is the other Arcane spell that I have in here. So this also helps with shuffling back, like, let's say I use that Arcane card that gains me life for each land that I control. So I can shuffle that back if I wanted to, or like the Demonic Tutor, or if Doubling Season got destroyed, then I could shuffle that back. So it just kind of helps me shuffle back my resources and lets me use it later on. So that's kind of the reason why I kept this in here. So throw the consoles. My creatures my opponent controls enter tapped, and I get 1 life. So Breaching Hippocamp. It's mainly just for spamming out a do during my opponent's end phase. The tap a target creature is kind of nice, but it's like not something I really have to do, but yeah. And then their kind of protection color or card. So target creature gets protection from a certain color. Now this card's kind of crazy. It's not as good as Cyclonic Rift, but it's still not bad. So you choose a creature type, return all creatures that aren't of the chosen type to the owner's hand. So mainly I can choose like horse, and it returns everything but horses to the owner's hand. So this is something else I have put in here that I'm currently testing. Is this can be actually pretty good too, under the right circumstances. So yeah. And then True Conviction, just obviously just crazy. And then Soul Ring. And that's the last card for that stack. And then next stack. So Reliquary Tower, more land. Cavern of Souls, I don't know if I had showed this to you guys before either. This is also something else I had picked up earlier in the year. So another really nice card to have. More land. Shadow effects. I just love the art for this. It's just so cool. And it's also just in a really good card too. So for the Horse Tribe, Showmare. Now this is a little bit of an odd one, but I think I just want you guys kind of see why I have it, then it will make sense. Because some of the cards I have in here are the Elemental Knights, which you guys saw from the first deck. Let me go back to where they were. Not that. Yeah. So these are elementals, and so it kind of works with this a little bit. So that's kind of why I have it in here, just as a random card that might be useful for those. So because they get +1/+1 in Vigilance, so that's not too shabby, considering that it's 3 mana. So it's not my commander either, so I don't really have to go by the rules. I don't think of the card where I only have to use like elementals and cats and stuff like that. So Heroic Intervention, Rally the Ranks, just good cards to have. More land. Yeah, this is our card that I have that works with the Arcane spells. So for more life gain. I had a friend pick up one card for me, and then I got the others. So he had gotten this one for me, which is one I was going to consider running just because it's not terrible. But whenever I was playing the deck and kind of adjusting it, is like, I don't think I really need that. Well, because certain cards are kind of good to have the opponent's hands on or aren't really. So, and then this is our one I had gone to, which can be kind of good, but it's kind of hit and miss situation depending on what the pot is. So, but Secluded Courtyard and Unclaimed Territory, they both do the same thing where you choose a creature type and then they make mana for that creature type. So Supreme Verdict, Final Renewal, and then Semblance, Anvil. They're a really good card. You can basically exile a creature or enchantment or anything else, and it reduces the cost of that type by 2. At least for like colorless mana. So let's say I exile a enchantment, so the convert mana cost of this, if I were to cast it, would just be 2 white. So yeah, which this actually isn't a bad card either. So Mountain, Hall of Fountain, Island, the Bob Ross lands, Door of Destinies, which is crazy, and then Evermind. So this I only do for the splice mechanic. I cannot cast this card any other way. So yeah, and then just simple, just draw a card. So more land, yeah. Here's the other color night. So it's not a bad effect either. Temple Garden, more lands, Blasphemous Act, which is really good if I don't really have a full field and my opponent has a lot of stuff on the field. So good nuking there. Lightning Mirror. Sunpoint, I know this got a reprint, but I've had this copy for a while now, so it's not too shabby. Mystic Remora, just for kind of drawing extra cards if I need to, or if I'm low, so haven't really gotten to do that yet, but it's there. Cloud Key, another reduction cost card, so. And then this actually is kind of insane. It has Flash and Sliding, attack with everything, and then during my opponent's turn, then I can flash this in, untap everything, and then have blockers. So, and then this does exactly the same thing as that Arcane card. So, Mana Drain, I think I had this in one of the previous decks that I showed you guys. Command Tower, just simple, kind of good land. Urza's Incubator. Now this is another new one. So my locals actually had this, and I want to get it for the deck. So just use it's a really, really good card. So Gandalf, riding Shadow Effects, Forest, Devastation Tide. It's not bad, especially if I draw it first turn. So Shared Animosity. This card's insane too. Especially if I have a bunch of Cursed Summers and Horse Tokens on the field. So, yeah. Navigator's Compass, Gate Through Life, and then I can tap it, make it a land any color. So, really pretty good. Vimare. It was actually, this card was actually like $2 or $3 during standard format back then. Which is kind of crazy to think about, but that's what it was. It's one of those cards that was like really hard to get rid of. So Triumph of the Hordes gives all my creatures Infect and Trample, which is crazy, and +1/+0. Or actually no, just +1/+1. Alright. Another Forest, more land, and more land. So yeah, so that's basically it for the kind of rough draft. Like I said, the deck may end up being like how you guys just saw it. I just had to test out further and see if there's anything else I need to change with it. But as of right now, it's working really well. So yeah. So thank you for watching. And I will catch y'all in the next video. There you goes.